Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which can only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. That's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? You have to get our research lab running at once. We need to make some improvements fast if we want to succeed. Then I guess the sooner I start, the better. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work. I found something peculiar on the planet. What exactly was peculiar about it? Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation. Yes. We could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called interval. The what? Interval. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane. Yeah, it felt like something was materializing from out of nowhere right in front of my eyes. Let's keep our heads cool. It's just a theory. No one's ever proved it right. If, and I stress if, Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been a puncture point, the spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe, subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. We need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one.
Care of this now? Missing a few rad filters.
What's going on? Oh, I'm dizzy.
Hey man, we're out of the stuff. Wanna do something else?
Are you all right? What happened in the refinery?
I wish I knew. I blacked out.
I think there was a leak and I inhaled toxic fumes. You blacked out? You need some time to get better? A few minutes are more than enough, thanks. So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans that are ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That's slow enough for you? Hey, you've just crossed out every team-building exercise on my list. The people are there for the mission, not the other way around. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. So what exactly was your research about? Nanotech in space exploration. We went from a humble startup to making headlines in a few months. Taking our solutions to the front line was my dream come true. The data we could bring back. You had big plans for it. Well, now it's all gone. Yeah, I understand how lousy that must feel. Honestly, I don't think you do. But I hope we're not gonna sit around crying about it. There's work to be done, here and now. That's true. Well, let's get to it then. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Marie? Marie Skwiatkowska? Where the hell did you find that old thing? Oh, use it as an anti-stress ball, so it's always lying around. Anti-stress ball? This duck was the first audience for so many papers I wrote. Time for Marie to get back to her proper job. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Oh, interesting. A motivational hoodie. Motivational? More like demotivational. I only kept it because it's really comfy. Of course you did. It doesn't remind you of all that determination and ambition that fueled my academic success. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate it. Man, I'm telling you, we need it. And I'm telling you this is the least important of our priorities, right? wanted to discuss something?
Yes, that moron who amputated his arm for no reason. Can you believe it? At a moment like this, we can't afford to have unproductive crew members on board.
Not much we can do about it now.
Well, we have to do something. That's why I wanted to talk. I could fit him with a prosthetic arm.
That's a great idea. Don't get beside yourself. It's a standard procedure in such cases.
Of course, I'd need a little time to tweak the details. Just assign the task to me and I'll know what to do. Have no doubt. If we want to meet our targets, we'll need a miner on top form.
So, did you find a solution to our problem? Yes. It's super simple. We'll build a bridge. Oh, just like that? Well, it can't be a regular bridge, of course. We don't have the time nor the manpower to accomplish that. However, there is a certain technology that came to my mind, superconductive bridge anchors. They could allow us to quickly span a light but durable construction across our obstacle. Wow, great. Sounds exciting. Yes, but... Oh, here we go. Cut out the sarcasm. It's not my fault this excursion was prepared by a dilettante. Blueprints for the anchors should be standard equipage for every mission since Project Versant went live, but not on this one. They should fire the logistician, if there ever was one. Versant? Versatile Synthetics Program. One of my undergraduate students went to work for them, had some impressive achievements, including designing bridge anchors for heavy exploration equipment. You'd think it would be obvious, but no. Tell me about it. It's so typical of Ally Corp to send people on a mission and then leave them stranded without proper equipment. I hope you're not feeling sorry for yourself, because we need to act. You are in touch with mining operations, right? Yeah, I am. Why? Next time you talk to someone from mining ops, tell them to send over the anchor blueprints from Versant. Once we have them, things will go back to super simple. You'll see. All right, will do.
Jan, can you come see me? There's a thing.
Can't sleep because of all that shit. You wanted to talk about something? Yeah, our one-armed friend. I've heard the scientist wants to give him a prosthetic arm to make him more productive. Yeah, and make his life easier. You seriously concerned about how he feels? Because if you are, then you probably realize he didn't self-harm for no reason, and a prosthetic won't necessarily solve the problem. What are you saying? You might want to consider a different solution, more sophisticated and compassionate. Compassionate? Yeah, well, I was thinking, Rapidium speeds up organic growth, right? And since you created us, our whole bodies, from just a DNA sample, can't you use the same technology to recreate a single limb? Oh, sure, so that the miner can just cut it off again? And what if he doesn't? Look, I know he felt that pain before, but what if this time you gave him his arm? One that would feel like a part of him from the very start. Show him that you believe he deserves a second chance. How can you be sure the pain won't come back? I can't. But something tells me it won't, because the problem is not really in his arm. All right, I'm listening. The poor bastard's insecure as hell. Changing that would be a big deal. And how would you go about it? I'm sure the scientist could figure out a way. He's too efficiency-driven to commit to it, but I know you could push him to make the extra effort. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about the miner's arm again.
What's there to talk about? The solution is simple. A prosthetic arm.
I was thinking, what if we try to use Rapidium to grow it back?
Now, why would we want to do that?
To find a more compassionate solution to his problem. It might not be about the arm at all, but about his insecurities.
Remind me, are we here to mine Rapidium or to humor insecure individuals?
So, you're telling me you can't do it?
I didn't say that. All I said is that a prosthetic arm is a quick and reliable solution. This treatment you suggest is time-consuming and highly unpredictable. Not to mention we'd be wasting Rapidium. But of course, I can cope with any task you assign to me. It's your call.
I'm not getting any connection from mining ops. Any idea how I can ask them for those blueprints? Didn't they push you to mine Rapidium? Report getting the job done, and someone will turn up. Trust me, I know how this company works. Okay, thanks. What a shitty day.
Should I go there next? Hold on. Should I take care of this now?
I feel good about